putting a recording on the audio right now in case any of this stuff ends up being worthwhile. Okay, let me turn off the air conditioner. Okay, I know it's on, dude. I'm aware of the situation. Do you sound good, Nikki?
I sound like medium.
You sound medium.
Work on it.
Yo, what's up?
There we go.
That was loud.
Yeah, okay,
yo,
well,
what's
I'm
up,
blowing him up a little bit. Okay.
Yo.
Okay, if you're listening to this, you're listening to the back.
Oh.
Where are you putting that gum?
Where are you putting the gum?
Where are you putting that gum, boy?
I'm gonna eat one of these.
Where are you gonna put the here?
No.
Oh.
I'm hungry.
You gonna put the gum into a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
So
you're gonna put it in
the
a wrapper.
wrapper.
Okay, I was like, that's kind of messed up. If you're gonna, that's an interesting way to eat a peanut butter cup too, right?
Now I need gum.
I feel like you've turned into a camel in the last 5 minutes.
I'm good.
You would be a camel if you're an animal. Anybody tell you that?
Hunchback.
I know it's funny when you said camel, I saw it immediately.
Yeah,
or like
right?
a llama. He's like one of those creatures
It's nice.
that are kooky and in the desert.
And spitting all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Something that basically spits is what you are. Okay, we're listening to we're not listening. We're recording the Blackpillup podcast with your host Erickson and
J-Rock, Jeremy,
and our host today, our Stacy of the day is Nikki Bon.
Oh my God, you're making me a Stacy?
Just for the day. Just for the day.
Guys.
Just for the day.
I'm gonna get okay.
You're gonna get what?
Killed.
No one's probably gonna.
I'm not a Stacy.
You're not. You're definitely by definition not a Stacy.
All right, so why do you think you're gonna get? You mentioned before we aired.
Okay. Well, let's set the stage here. You are a comedian.
Yes.
And that's all that you do. Female though.
Female.
Female. A Foyd comedian.
I'm also. It's all I do.
Is that all you do?
I'm in commercials, guys.
That's true.
Oh, sorry, commercial actor.
Commercial actor
And I
slash
waitress.
comedian, and you waitress.
Yeah.
And you're a good friend of ours, but you don't know much about incels at all. You decided to study about them yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like I know more about them because of Jeremy's set, because you talk about them all the time. So
By set, you mean yelling at strangers on the street?
yeah.
I talked to everyone about it. But anyways, you were saying before you think you're gonna get killed.
Right. You think you're going to get killed for coming on this podcast by incels who will listen to it.
Where does that come from?
You just sound like my dad. That comes from, a couple things. Well, first of all, they don't like Stacy's.
No, they love Stacy's. They want to be with Stacy's.
But I read about Elliot
Rogers,
and he killed all those girls because they were Stacy's.
Right, he was fed up with the fact they wouldn't give him the attention that he thought he deserved.
So don't you think that incels are going to get to the point that they're fed up and they're going to be like, oh, fucking Nikki the Stacy?
Well, I think that's the fear that most people have, is that every incel is just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode on women and start murdering people in the droves.
He's also one guy, and this was what, 6 years
also,
ago?
I don't. Did the incel words
this was before?
Did it even exist back then when he did it?
He was bitching.
Red
about
pill
women.
existed. Red pill existed back then.
The term incel didn't even exist.
Because I actually remember where I was when Elliot Rogers happened. Actually, I was working for Neil Strauss, the pickup artist king himself. And he flipped out because he was like, "Oh man, this is gonna hurt our sales so much, dude. We're gonna get so much shit for this. We got to make a tape right now to make sure people know that we're not related to this." Yeah, I don't think he put it like that exactly, but
I went there and because my friend went to UC Santa Barbara, so I did show up there recently, and he gave me a tour. The Elliot Rogers tour.
Wait, what's the Elliot Rogers? Did you really just go on a shooting spree path that he went on?
He showed me all the spots.
Oh my! Who showed you this?
This guy Trey.
What was his deal?
He went there, so he knew all the locations.
How did he find them?
I mean, it's like.
And why would he bother to build a tour?
He doesn't build a tour.
I thought it was like
in a fucking van that said Elliot.
If you look to your left, this is where he took two down.
Just gave me a personal tour. I asked.
Here's a spot where he recorded his manifesto in his BMW.
Exactly.
Oh my God,
Here's
dude,
the liquor store that he shot.
Oh my God,
here's
man.
the sorority, and it was awesome.
That's cool. Intense.
Yo.
And
did you feel excited going on this tour? Was this like was
cool,
it was cool just seeing all the spots that
it's always weird seeing, and like I've driven by the John and Ramsey house too. Like I don't know, it always cool is to see life going on.
Tragedy.
But it is weird to see. It's like, wow, all this horrible, awful shit happened, and then there's like, girls getting drunk outside on the lawn. Like,
right, life moves on, things continue.
Yeah.
Although I feel like most houses where murder happens, a lot of people, it ends up just becoming derelict, right? They knock the house down, or it just becomes unsellable.
Depends how bad.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I guess maybe I don't know that. Well, I don't know. I'm a paranoid person.
What do you know so far? With the little amount of research you've done, what have you learned about it? Because this is actually really helpful. We're going to get a first look at what somebody who just found out about incels and decided to do some research has taken away from that research. So what have you learned about incels?
I feel like this is a quiz. I'm going to sound stupid with my answer. I feel like I learned that, it's that it's a bunch of guys on the dark web that haven't had sex and think that women don't like them.
Spot on so far in my mind.
And here's the thing, though. This is what I'm like. Fucking stick in there, fellas. I saw Elliot. No, not your.
Are you advocating?
Stick it in there.
No.
Just get
hang in there.
Stick it out. I got it.
Because I looked at Elliot Rogers and I was with my friend this morning. I was like, he's cute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm like? You're 22 and you got mad. You could have had a chance.
Well, that's the one thing that doesn't make sense to me about incels is the people who call him like the patron saint of like incels. I'm just like, that guy is not an incel. Like that guy might have been like mentally ill and unable to have.
He was mentally ill.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, here's the other thing with Elliot. He went to Santa Barbara, which is like the mecca for hot sluts and hot jocks, right?
Okay, I didn't know this.
So, and I was seeing that driving there. I was like, oh, wow, it's like, it's Orange County. It's like Baywatch College. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he was inundated with like the hottest girls in the world in the time when you're the horniest, right?
Right.
So he's it was like it's like a hyper scenario to be sexually frustrated.
Okay.
I guess the thing I got from watching him and what I can tell is that he's probably one of those guys who's like was rich, very entitled.
Oh my God, so entitled. He
like,
called himself the supreme gentleman.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And cunt.
But he was also just not very socially aware. So he probably was in a lot of situations where he would embarrass himself, become the butt of a joke for other guys to kind of like beta. You know what I mean? They would alpha him and then like take his girl, and he didn't know how to like maneuver around that, so he just ended up constantly getting bitched out all the time.
He was the try-hard guy. You could tell, like he just like came in, like he's very unlikable, like socially.
Probably took himself way too seriously. Couldn't handle jokes made about him.
Yeah,
and like that, it doesn't matter how attractive you are. Because I've met I think it was you who was talking to me about like attractive guys, how it can almost be dangerous to be really attractive, but it's very stupid. Because they're very insecure. Like I worked with a guy who was legitimately was like an Abercrombie model. Like that's how he introduced himself. But anytime you said anything that sounded like you were like being sarcastic or making a joke that went over his head, which is like pretty much my tone of voice. He would look at you like
defensive.
What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking? Are you making fun of me? I'm like, dude, chill out. I'm not making fun of you.
Don't have personalities.
But it's just crazy how it's just like he was clearly so for lack of a better word, incompetent, that like anytime something sounded like he'd learned that anytime he didn't understand something, it was probably someone was making fun of him.
That's funny.
That's what he'd come to learn is like, I don't understand what that guy just said, so he's probably making a joke at my expense. It's like, dude, I'm just talking to you. Like that's all that's going on here. So I'm with Billy Rogers, like he's one of those guys probably who was just very attractive. Like I think he wasn't very attractive. He's cute.
It was
cute
feminine. He was too feminine. He was also a tiny guy.
How tall was he?
Like 5'6". He was tiny.
Oh, he's a manlet.
Jeremy hates Elliot Rogers.
I'm not a big fan of him either.
Do I hate him?
Yeah.
I don't have love or hate for him.
I don't think. If you're a guy who's gonna like start murdering people, I'm definitely not a fan of yours.
You love him?
No.
Oh, I find him fascinating. The other thing that's fascinating, and the big misconception with him is he didn't actually succeed in his plight. Like he didn't kill the sorority girls. He killed his 3 nerdy roommates first, and then he went to.
Wait, he killed his roommates first?
Either his, I think
his roommates.
Yeah, I think one of them was his roommates
first, and then
no, he had male roommates.
Yeah, but he killed 2 girls first, and then he went on to kill.
No.
Okay, let's just look it up.
I know what it is. Let's get Jamie I watched hour-long videos. I got the tour, dog.
Okay.
Be a tour guide.
Okay, what's the tour say?
So here's what he did. He killed his nerdy roommates first, right? And then he might have invited like some nerdy friends, gamers, killed them. Three
you guys want to go play Xbox?
Fucking stabbed him.
Okay. Oh, stabbed him?
The other cool thing is...
Jesus, that is mentally unwell, dude.
Yeah, he's a psycho. And then he made a video after this where he's drinking, he gets a latte, the famous latte video.
Have you seen the video?
Of course, 100 times.
This is when he's sitting in his car saying, my day of reckoning is beginning.
Yeah, so he's drinking a latte and the sun is setting. It looks nice. He's in his nice car and he's like, the reckoning is coming. I will go to the Alpha Sigma and destroy them. So he goes to the door, right? And it's locked. This idiot. He's got his gun. It's locked. It's like 5 p.m. And then he just panics and shoots some girl on the street. That's what you're talking about, right? He just shoots some girl on the street that wasn't even in the sorority that he hated so much. I think he shoots 2 girls. Then he goes in his car and just does a drive-by and he shoots like 3 random people at a liquor store. And I think that's where it ended.
So right here where it says, Roger began his attacks at his apartment on Seville Road where 3 men were found dead inside.
Right.
Each victim had received multiple stab wounds and all had been killed approximately 3 hours before the shooting spree. Their bodies were found at 1 a.m. Whoa, 1 a.m. Following the shootings. Okay, I was like, wow, they saw 3 dead bodies before he even started shooting. That's crazy.
Yeah,
they were identified as Roger's roommates, Wei-Han Wang, Cheng Hong, and a friend of theirs, George Chen. So he hung out with 3 Asian dudes. He hung out with 3 rice cells.
3 other incels.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you call them rice cells?
They're called rice cells on an incel forums.
On the forums.
Come on, because they're Asian?
Yeah. No, because it just so happens that these guys love sushi. What do you mean? Like, because they're Asian.
Oh,
so
all right, I guess incels are racist.
Well, it's not racist. It's just kind of like it's a terminology basically to say like these guys are incels due to their Asianness, which I guess is kind of a racist thing, but still, it's not like they're not dismissing them. They don't hate them.
Indian is curry cell.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Well, not stop.
No way.
Curry cell, rice cell, what other cells
They
are
probably
there?
call Americans burger cells too.
I've never seen that.
They call Americans burgers. That's what I've seen.
I've never.
Really?
You are the one who walks amongst the more
are you on the
forums.
Dark web?
We're all on the dark
I love
web.
how it's like the dark. Like I am, yes, but you could find all these forums on the regular web. And also, it's so easy to go on the dark web. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Faint blood stains in the
Download
main
this
hallway.
dumb
How do you stab 3 guys?
You sound like my mom. Are you on the dark web?
How do you stab 3 dudes?
Yeah.
He must have hit it from one. You must be getting them alone, right? You're getting them alone, right? You're not.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not taking them all out at once.
So, anyways, Elliot is this one guy, right? And I guess some of the more extremist incels sort of idolize him because he took action. Basically, he had a shitty situation of being an incel, and he took action. Mm-hmm. But I don't think most of them would actually condone.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Most of them, a lot of let's finish up what you think incels are, and then we'll
Killers.
They're killers. They're just killers. They're just walking time bombs.
Yeah.
They're dormant cells walking around just waiting to get so aggravated with their sexual inadequacy that they just start murdering people.
Yeah, it was only because when I looked up the Elliot Rogers stuff and then I saw that there was like people posting on YouTube videos and then there's merchandise and I was like, oh, this is fucking
There's merch?
There's merch with his face
merch?
on it. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So then I was like, oh, this is terrifying. And that's when I was like, and then you know what's weird? And then I was like, oh, are you guys going to incel me if I come here?
Incel you? What does that mean? Incel you?
Like what you did,
Not
you
have
locked
sex
the
with you?
door. I guess I just am like, I saw them as like scary.
Elliot
people.
Rogers, from my perspective, is definitely he's the radical version of an incel. He's like the one and few.
I'm open to listening.
The incel.
then.
I don't even know if he was necessarily part of the conversation when incels first started talking. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was more just people, guys. There's just always radicals in every group. Feminists, Black Lives Matter.
If incel is Christianity, Elliot Rogers is God hates fags, guys.
Okay.
And he's killing them.
That makes him sound more. And that makes it sound like there's more of him than there should be, because there's a lot of God hates fags.
No,
guys.
that's just how one church. The
is it?
Westboro Baptist Church. He's
Okay,
the
so
Westboro Baptist
Church of incels.
There's not a lot of those.
Okay.
And he's the one, and that's why we kind of got interested in doing this, was that like we realized that like when people talk about incels, they're really talking about like a few radical dudes who are typically mentally unwell, mental cells.
Always.
And then
Psychos.
and they're using that as a way of blanking over these guys who go on the internet forums to like I'll totally admit like they want to like share misogynist jokes and like
That's okay.
and like racist jokes and things that like basically get catharsis through their anger, you know, but they're just going there because they all admit like nobody wants to fuck me. Every girl I approach basically says to go fuck off. And I'm very alone and it's very sad. So
young guys.
Yeah.
How young?
I would
Like
say anywhere between
16 to 25.
I wouldn't even go
I'd
as
say.
young as 13,
So
dude. I'm
here's-
sure there's like 13-year-olds on there.
But here's what I say about that, like 16 to 25.
Oh God, here we go.
What?
I can't wait. Just take a shower. Just
No.
learn a hobby.
Let her go. Let her go.
Yeah, fuck you.
Have you tried talking to a girl?
No, don't talk to a girl. Clearly you don't know how. Go get a friend to teach you. I just think that 16 is still pretty young. And like
agree.
if I think
I
of
agree.
myself when I was 16, I definitely
That's another reason why I don't have any sympathy for Elliot Rogers. Is like the guy didn't hold out
I'm also
for
like 25. I guess I'm like there's so many if I think of like people that I wasn't attracted to or people that whatever. Then they get older and then they're like attractive and they like develop a life. You haven't developed a life for yourself
I would
yet.
say
You're going
most
to school.
incels actually agree with that. They always say like wait till at least you're try everything you can until you're 25 until you admit that it's over.
right.
25 still seems young though.
If you're a 25-year-old and you've never had a
If you've been
relationship
hitting
and
it
you're a
hard,
virgin,
if you've been hitting
you
it
are gonna
hard
have
since
a tough
18,
time.
if by 18
Yeah, that's
you've
true.
been really hitting it hard, like really trying to like have conversations, looks max, money max, status max, do whatever you got to do to like get a girl, and you're still just lonely.
But here's my question.
Sure.
I would love to know the bracket of women that they're approaching. Are they going for a 10? Are they going for an 8? Are they going
No,
for someone other
they're
league?
going for
Are they going low?
whatever. Well-
They're going for whatever, or are you generalizing?
They're going for whatever. I
Really?
think that's a big misconception too with guys that are on like, oh, you're going for the whatever, the supermodels. No, I don't think so. Because you get to a point where you just want anyone. If you failed enough, you're just like, I'll take anything.
I don't know about that. I never would have gotten that point.
Huh?
I would rather die celibate than go with someone
Not
who's-
anyone. Not the 600-pound whatever.
the 600-pound land whale.
Well, have you guys ever gotten to a point that like you were hooking up with someone and then you were like, oh fuck,
Of course.
like the lowest,
Half of them.
half of them,
Oh, just one.
just one.
And I was like, this can't go any further than this. I don't know what I'm doing. I was trying to do that whole like let's just focus on their personality thing, but even their personality wasn't good. So I was like, this is
Right.
not going to work.
And you're
I'm
saying
talking
half
like
them.
one night stands.
Okay.
Either way, I will. Here's the thing. A lot of them are trying to just to go find whoever, because one of the funny things that my friend would tell me before I found the incel groups, and he had already like been familiar with them, is like there are women who would come on being like, I'm an incel too. There's no fucking way you can be an incel. Like any guy will fuck you. We got guys over here crossing there's state lines of fuck girls. Like, come on. And she's like, no, I really am incel. The guy's like, show us your picture. She showed her picture. And they're like, we have 5 guys here ready to fuck you. They will come over and fuck you. Are you incel? It's like, no, it's not the same thing. Like, I'm looking for a guy who understands me. So there are guys out there who will like be like, no matter what you look like, they just want a body to fuck. But even then, there's a part of inceldom which I also understand. We're just like, they don't appreciate the unfairness of like, oh, so because I'm born a certain way, I only have like this low level of people that like, it's like I've got to date people in my freakish range. Like it still kills some people to be like, I can never have like the 10 out of 10 Stacy because I wasn't born a Chad. Like that kills some of them. It hurts to see someone you're really attracted to.
I feel like that's rare. Like they want the best of. That's crazy. I think
I think they're angry. I think they're definitely angry.
Well, everybody is.
Exactly.
Like, I was.
And I think it's funny to be angry about that because it is. It's a predicament.
I get that.
You do.
I fucking get
Right,
that.
of course.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
That was one of the first conversations we had. Was you
Yeah.
explained to me? It's like when you were younger, you weren't that attractive, and then you finally were able to get hot
disgusting.
guys. It was awesome.
And people made fun of me, and they
Right.
would be like, "What is Nicole doing here?" And like, so I get that because then when I became attractive-ish, all of a sudden I was able to like. There was this model guy, and he fucked me, and I was like, I did it, and then I just started fucking only hot guys, and
Right.
my
Yes.
friends were like, stop fucking hot guys, and I was like, no. I'm thriving right now. My whole life, like up until I was 18, I could never get anybody I liked. And I would like a loser. There was one guy that like dated me and it made me feel good, but he was strange. And so and then all of a sudden I just started fucking hot guys.
Now that's the truth. Can I say that real quick? Yes, that's the truth that I wish everyone would admit, that we're all playing a game where we're trying to have sex, or we're trying to have sex and relationships with the most attractive people.
Right. And
but
incels admit that.
Incels admit it, but I don't think most people admit that like that's just what they're going after.
Right.
We're all playing the same game.
Well, that's part of why people I think hate incels. Is incels are so like black pill based, or like I'll admit it's more about looks than anyone's acknowledging.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people are like, no, it's not about looks.
It is
a
because
friend of mine dates a guy who's 5 inches shorter than her.
Yeah, but
he just so happens to be a musician and like a multi-million-dollar record salesman. Like that's
I felt so good about myself. It was like a drug. It was like, oh my God, I got this hot guy, and then it's like I now feel hot, even though I am not in his league.
So now imagine,
I now feel hot.
Imagine at your age now, right?
Yeah.
You got to meet the other Nikki, the one who's the same age as you, but she never changed. She never became the girl who gets to fuck hot guys. How bad do you feel for that Nikki who's still living her life just being like unable?
And you've tried everything you could.
Yeah, she's still attracted. Now she's still attracted to the guys that you're fucking, but she has no shot in hell.
But she's getting nothing.
Right.
She can't get a date.
Do you not feel bad?
She can't get a Tinder match.
Yeah.
Doesn't she deserve to have at least a place on the internet where she can go and share memes about how awful like the guys you hook up with are and how shallow they are, and just basically try to vent her frustration to find other Nikkis like herself that just are like, yeah, it sucks, but we're here for you until you kill yourself.
Hold on. I have to think about this. I'll put myself in the situation.
I like how hard it is now for her to do it though. Now she's crossed that threshold. It's like, I can't remember being
because I still go through, I haven't gotten over my childhood. Like I still feel like I am that person.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of your comedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not a lie. Like I genuinely am like, I mean, if you throw me in like a group of people that are ugly, yeah, I'll feel a little bit better. But the second like a hot girl walks in the room, I am now dirt. I am nothing.
Yeah, but he's not saying that.
I know.
He's saying
no. I want to hear where she's going with this.
But so I'm just saying, I'm not like confident Nikki walking around. I fucked hot guys because I haven't fucked a hot guy in a long time.
Right, but what I'm saying is imagine you never have.
Okay,
and you still don't feel like it's ever going to happen.
To be honest, I think. Okay, I don't know if I would like the internet thing, because even though I was still ugly Nikki, not getting the hot guys, I wouldn't want to be associated. I never did as a kid too. I didn't want to be associated with the other people that were like that, because then it was too much of reality. I'd rather hang out with like cool people that are attractive. Even if you're not fucking
you were taking the blue pill basically hard. You're like, I'm going to just keep living this fantasy that.
Yeah, like if I'm associated, but if I go to where everybody's drowning, then I'll be like, oh my God, I'm even more of a loser that I'm like I'm relating to these people.
Yeah, but wouldn't that truth feel so good?
Okay,
that way you don't have to keep deluding yourself.
So no. Let's say you did that, right? So now you're still Nikki. Therapy. Now you're the Nikki you are, right? And you're looking at this other Nikki who's like, at the same age as you, and she's just blue pilling her way through life. She's ugly as fuck. Nobody wants to fuck her. Mm-hmm. Do you think she should keep taking that blue pill and just like think to herself like, oh, I'm just not going to admit to myself that I'm ugly. I'm just going to keep on trying to find somebody who
Oh, I guess when I say that, I don't mean that she's trying to find somebody. I just think
she's just living alone, just ignoring the truth.
Okay. I think I'm just, she's living alone. No, I think she's aware of the truth, but there was something about being associated with.
But no one knows you're associated with the group. You're just going on there anonymously, posting and reading and like getting. That's what's so great about the internet.
I'm one of you. I really am like this.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem is that we as a society, like we taboo this idea of being part of the ugly group. Like, no one wants to be part of it. And now, but with the way that we're villainizing incels, no one's going to want to be a part of that, because in their minds, like, well, I might be ugly, but I'm not incel. I'm not trying to kill people. It's like, no, they're not trying to kill anyone either. They're just frustrated like you are.
Yeah.
The other thing is they're on the internet too, so it's not like they don't have meetups. They're just you're just fucking Bon 46 and you're posting.
Yeah.
So it's not like
the best you do,
like anyone will see you there.
Okay.
So you're just
I think that's I always think venting is good, and like same with comedy when it's like we have frustrations.
Well, that's what we do. We go on stage in public and do it, but these guys go online.
Behind stage and we talk to each other like, oh, I'm upset with this. But I guess, no, you know what? I probably wouldn't. If I really think about it, I wouldn't want to admit fully that I was.
God bless you that you were able to figure it out then, because it sounds like you would be.
Yeah, I
really like nihilistic. Just.
I'd be angry. I mean, I am angry.
See,
still.
there you go.
I'm still angry.
You're still angry, and you are fucking hot guys. Think how you'd feel if you weren't fucking hot guys.
Yeah.
If you never even got to taste it.
Well, I think that I then would go, I don't deserve it. Like of course you're not fucking me because I'm ugly.
Right, but either way, my point is,
not saying they should think that, but I would.
So whatever your cope is to get through, like, you know, having these these feelings and this unjust in the world, I still think it's totally fine for someone to have a group to go on to and talk about it, like, and just to, like, you know, to throw that stuff around and make themselves feel better, especially if it's entertaining for people like me.
I think that is not okay.
Why is it not okay?
Because you guys are out there fucking, you don't know what it's like, and you're just using their pain and their anger as entertainment for yourself.
Because I was an ugly Nikki as a kid too, and I know what their pain is, and it keeps me humble too. It makes me entertained, but it keeps me humble to be like, that's right, I should be much more grateful about my life, because obviously I'm not incel. Like, I appreciate their humor. I'm there for them. If they wanted someone to talk to, I'd talk to them.
See, I want to help them.
Me too.
I see it as anthropology.
Okay.
And I didn't lose my virginity until I was 21, and it was to a post-op trans.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, that was a true story?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought what do you mean it was kind of?
What do you mean, kind of?
I don't know. I can't prove it.
I thought that was a joke.
I didn't get her DNA.
Well, okay. Did you hook up? Like, how old were you when you
21
fingered a girl?
I didn't finger a girl till after that.
Wow.
22. I had cystic acne. But I see it as entertainment, but I also see it as, and I talked about the last podcast, I see it as that the future is becoming more incel, and that it will become a
he thinks the incel population is growing, and it'll become a class
societal
of person.
problem. That's where we're headed.
Well, it does seem like
world.
It does seem like it's great for them to vent, but now we're putting people into a class of like attractiveness, or like what you've said.
Well, it's a subtle way of doing it. That's what I think is another thing that's so very like fucking like sinister about it, is that that's why the narrative is like incels are guys who think that they deserve to fuck a girl even if she doesn't want to. And it's like, that's not what they are. They're ugly people. They're guys who society does not find attractive. But you don't want to admit that, because to admit that is to own up the part that you play in that, which is that you will not fuck them. So instead of just taking that on and be like, yeah, they're basically society's uggos, which just sounds terrible.
Sounds awful.
Right. It's instead like, no, they're a bunch of entitled white dudes who think they should be able to fuck a woman whenever they feel like they wanted to be like 18, 20 again, where they can smack a bitch and fuck her and nobody can do anything about it. And it's like, that's not who they are. I mean, some of them probably wish that we could go back to that time. But like, my point is...
They just want to admit that women care about looks, basically.
So do men.
Well,
yes,
but no one's denying
as
that.
Much
no
as
one
women
denies
care
that.
more.
No, women care
more.
even.
No, I don't think they care more.
They don't even admit it. That's the thing. They don't.
Maybe they care the same amount at least. Just that.
I have a question.
Sure.
If I'm going too off topic to talk about Jeremy, but I'm fascinated.
That's fine.
Because it kind of. So when you had cystic acne, what ages?
Till 22, 23.
Okay, and then your acne cleared up.
I got Accutane.
Are you okay? Have you been checked?
For what?
For what?
Accutane has we'll talk about it later. Accutane's not good for you.
You might be dying,
It's
dude.
the best thing I've ever done.
You're not.
Yeah,
still
you
on
look
it,
great,
are
but you might be.
Are you still on it?
No.
Okay.
You don't go. You go on it, then you go off it.
I know. A friend was dating a guy that was on Accutane, and now he has like immune deficiency disorder because of it.
Jeremy, you have no.
You're
bone
okay,
marrow.
Jeremy.
Huh?
You have no bone marrow now.
Okay. So I have a question. So were you like attracted to girls you couldn't, and girls didn't talk to you? Did you ever go through that with it, or no? Like you were still like.
Did I have tough time with girls? Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Accutane cleared it up.
Yeah, and then I got a girlfriend a month. What a weird coincidence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Isn't that
So
weird?
you remember that moment that like you blossomed and then, oh my
Yes.
God, now you're fucking. And how do you feel now? Are you like how I felt where I'm like, oh, now I've developed and now I can have all this fun?
Now I developed. Yes, sure. But the other thing is, I feel that's why I feel the sympathy for the incels, because I've been through it.
Exactly. But your story, I think, is like very important for some of these incels to know.
No, it's not. Well, here's a difference. The Accutane is something curable. What most of these guys have is not curable.
What do they have?
Having a fucked up face and being 5'2".
Some of them are like it's not just like I need to shower more. Some
Yeah,
of them, a lot. There's a good
the
few.
other
There's
point, yeah.
people, and you've seen them because we see them every day. People who are just like, that person like does not have a place in my movie. That person is not good looking enough or interesting enough. They have no fashion sense. They also just they're balding. Their eyes are kind of misshapen. They're too short. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people who they have a lot of character. They make a great story on NPR.
Yeah.
But they're not people who like anyone would want to trade places with.
Right.
Like these incels, they'll go on Tinder, they'll make an account, they'll get 2 matches in a year, and it's like a prostitute and like I don't know, another deformed person. So it's just like they can't get any, like it's like it's out, it's 0%.
And they're coping through life. They're just trying to find ways to like make themselves enjoy. And there's people who found ways of doing it by like just pushing away like the sexual desires. You got those MG Tao guys who are like, I'm just gonna go my own way. I'm not gonna care about women. I'm gonna devote my life to cooking, camping, and playing video games, and that makes them happier. But the whole idea of the incels are people who just can't get over the hump of like, I am attracted to people of the opposite gender.
Yeah.
I'm a guy attracted to women who are attractive, and I have no shot in hell. And that can be soul crushing because I mean, I guess every single person at this table right now can at least remember one time where they fucked somebody who's like, that is a hot person. That is a person who is like, maybe not a 10 out of 10, but definitely like a 9 or an 8. We're just like, wow, this is somebody that other people are trying to fuck, who I'm just sexually attracted to, and now I'm fucking them. And that's a great relief. And it also puts and what's funny is that it puts a lot of stuff into perspective. You can do that, and you can walk away and be like, you know what? I don't think I need that again. Like it's not as special as I thought it was. I care about other things. But for someone who's never had it, and never can have it, and they know it's because the way you look, but nobody else in the society will acknowledge. Everyone's like, no, it's because you have a terrible personality.
Yeah.
It's because you don't. It's because you just got to learn how to talk. Because, or just say because apparently she's just interested in some other guy. He just happens to be 6'2" and have a strong jaw, and incredible muscles. Just be honest. Like, you're ugly, dude. Like, why can't we be honest with people?
And it's guys telling other guys too. Just be confident. The other one's like,
well, it's even women too. Women are always being like, oh, don't worry, there's someone for you. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I really do think it comes mostly from women, because women are the ones who don't want to admit to other women that they don't find each other attractive, because obviously it's like some sort of like breach of the gender to be like.
But growing up, for me, it came from guys mostly.
It did.
Because
guys
women didn't want to talk to you. Women were afraid that they talked to you, you'd follow them home.
But were you confident? Like, you're very confident to me.
No, he's not. What are you talking about? No, he's not.
To me, because I don't know you that well, you seem very confident. The way that like you like talk, you got your like little swag, and you're like, oh, I'm Jeremy, I'm confident.
I know what she's talking about.
I
do know what she's talking about.
I'm sure you
have a Jeremy swag. You have a swag.
You have a fucking Jeremy.
You got a
swag.
J swag.
Yeah, man. You're like,
right.
you seem like you got more than, you're like, yeah, you're gonna be lazy about
I'm the
talking.
Joker, baby.
Yeah, I'm lazy about talking right now, but it's because I'm confident and I don't really need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh man, he's so confident. Yeah. So.
But okay.
Why do we get on to confidence? Oh, people telling me confident. Because I was like, well, you became confident, but you're like, I'm not.
But it also helps that Jeremy's.
I'm not that.
But here's the thing that also helps Jeremy. Okay, he's kind of tall, which gives you points with women. It's a proven fact that women just like are more attracted to guys who are on the taller spectrum.
Yes.
And it makes up for a lot of other deficiencies. And also, he got rid of the hideous acne that was on his face.
Yeah.
So
Still have a little, but
it
was so
barely
hideous,
noticeable.
Nikki. It was like.
And
so
furthermore, he's got some success in comedy and therefore status to attribute to it. And all those things play into what makes him more attractive to women.
Yeah. Okay.
But not every guy has those opportunities.
Yeah.
They got nowhere else to go.
But even the ones like Danny DeVito's wife,
the one who
dog.
Yeah, because
he's Danny DeVito.
Yeah, but she's so funny.
I'm sure she is, but
what? Danny DeVito, Carla from Cheers.
They're still married?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they divorced.
She's not a dog. She's like cute and spunky.
Are you serious?
She's
Wait,
like
what's her name again? What's her name? Carla what?
She's Carla from Cheers.
No,
she's not a dog, but she's also
Danny
successful and like
DeVito's wife.
I'm just saying, people like Danny DeVito, bless his heart, or other incels, even if you get a lot of money and a lot of fame and a lot of status and a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
You're still,
Here's what I wanted to ask when we got on the whole thing, because I do think a lot of it stems from women being unable to admit
that other women are ugly.
Yeah, women get the most uncomfortable about attractiveness because they have the most sexual market value, so they don't like to, and it's like they don't.
I also think it's because women are nicer.
She's not a complete dog.
Well,
actually.
also
she's not
women,
terrible.
she's not terrible.
I mean, it looks like she's had work done. Like it looks like someone sanded her face.
Women have to worry about weight.
Women have to worry about more than weight if they're ugly.
Look at her when she was younger, not
Rhea Perlman young.
All right, I'll rescind it.
She looks okay actually. What's funny is I remember her as a lot more kind of like.
I'd like to see his other girlfriends.
Homely.
He's never had. He's been with.
Dude,
her,
he's incel. He's lucky he's even gotten one.
That's what I'm saying.
I know exactly. Here we go. Here's a young photo of him.
Yeah.
She's actually not bad looking.
No.
She's got that Jewy. She definitely looks like she's headed towards the Jewish grandmother.
Looks like Howard Stern here.
She does look like Howard Stern here. Yeah, she looks with the sunglasses. Yeah, maybe she is Howard Stern. And that's been her little Andy Kaufman trick the entire time. Here's my question though, Nikki. Around you and your girlfriends, will you ever tell a girlfriend of yours that like, look, you're not that attractive. There's no way. Like you have it. Like you're the ugly one of the group. Like you're. You're saying oof. Like I didn't ask the same question to Christine in the last episode.
Well, no, I'm not saying oof at the question. I was just imagining the scenario.
I'm trying to think if I have any ugly.
But it's not with guys. With guys, it's not brutal. We could say to each other like, "Yo, dude, really? Tom, like, let's be real here, man. Like,
no,
you're 4'3". Like, how many girls are gonna like? We don't even make it about the looks. It's like, dude, like, you better work on your personality, man. You better be making sure you're making some money.
But to be honest, because I wanted to be hot. I was always around hot girls and I was the ugly one. And so I don't have any ugly friends if I really think about it.
There's not one girl in your group of friends who's kind of the ugly one?
No.
Well, did they ever say it to you when you were...
I'm going to be giving you a look next time if I ever see someone in your crew and it'll be like, so how close you were with her?
Oh, and I'm not talking about like, I don't really have like a comedy crew of girls.
Okay.
And if like
a coven,
I'm fucking friends with Maddie Hansen. I'm the ugly one. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm like I'm not the star. I've never been the star. My roommate was hotter than me. So it's like I've never had that thought. Like everybody's always been hotter than me.
So if you did have someone in the group though, like have you?
Why would you tell somebody that they're ugly?
Because it's truthful. Because it's honest. Because like, hey, just so you know, your physical looks are not. This is my point of how this is the problem. We feel so uncomfortable telling someone like you are physically deficient.
If they said, hey.
So a guy's hitting on you, right? He's 5'2". He's got a bum leg and he's got a lazy eye and his lip almost looks like it was like a poorly like repaired cleft palate. He's trying to hit on you and wants to ask you on a date. And you say no, and he's asked you why. What are you telling him?
Why? Because I'm not attracted to you.
Why not?
Because I don't like your face.
Because you ugly.
You can't call people that person.
Shit, man. You look so fucked up.
But that's too mean.
That's too mean.
I'm on her side. I have memories of girls saying that to me, and it's just.
God,
and look what happened. You changed. You grew up.
No, I did not change.
You did. You got rid of the acne. You got rid of the acne.
This was so confident.
This was before acne. This does not make me confident. This is before acne. This is some girl on the street.
You do not feel better.
Probably this is after acne.
Has anyone said so? After acne.
Yeah, and this girl is just this girl in Hollywood, and she goes, "Look at me and look at you," and locked away. And I was like, "Oh,
that's a black pill, man. You're for a guy who's all about the black pill. Yeah. That is a strong black pill. She just fed you.
What's a black pill?
Black pill is so the ideology starts off. I got a little quicker way to get through this, but basically, you know Matrix, right? Mm-hmm. Red pill, blue pill. Mm-mm. You don't. You know Matrix, right? You know Matrix, right? Black pill, red pill, blue pill? No.
Remember the scene, Morpheus with the pills?
He offers Neo a choice. You take the blue pill, the dream, you wake up and this is all just a dream. You take the red pill and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Oh, okay.
And so the idea of taking a red pill is basically seeing the world for what it really is. Stop believing the Matrix and the narrative that everyone sells each other, and believing the red pill. And that became a movement before the incels became as popular or as well known as they are, about like just being honest with yourself. Women aren't attracted to your personality. They're attracted to your status, your money, your looks. They want to see a guy who has the things that they need to have in order to make them a reasonable mate. And a lot of guys got better from that, but a lot of guys didn't, because a lot of guys had to realize that like no matter what you do, like you still kind of look like a freak and you're still kind of a weird person to be around. You still smell funny, and like it doesn't matter how much deodorant you put on. And they said that those guys created the black pill, which is like there's some people just it's not gonna change.
They're out of it.
Yeah.
So okay.
The reality is that at the end of the day, there's just people that are just goddamn unattractive.
So
and your options are slim to none.
Okay, so you approached this girl,
Yeah.
and what did you say?
I was like, hey.
That's
Wait, you
what
did that?
said?
I don't remember.
Did you do that
what I
eye
said.
shit? Did you do that
yeah,
eye shit?
and you said
I
it
don't
in
remember
a
what I
soft
said.
Tone.
It was on the
Do you remember if you
streets.
fluttered your eyes like that?
It was on the streets at 2 a.m.
You fluttered your eyes like that, didn't
Were you
you?
I was
drunk?
like, yeah, probably.
Okay, so go on.
I was just like, hey, how's it going? She's like, get the fuck out of here. Look at you and look at me. She's also on the phone.
So hot. That's
Yeah,
so
but
hot.
also,
She was so hot.
like-
She's
That
the
is so
hottest
hot,
girl ever.
and that's so hot that she said that she was so
It's not
aware.
hot.
No, it is
also-
so hot.
But
That,
it destroyed me.
really?
Really?
Yeah. Just for the night.
Apparently, you're
mean-
still upset about it.
I think about it. When I think of all the rejections in my life, that one comes up.
Well, that's like a different. First of all, we're in Hollywood. She's a little cunt because I would never do that. Except,
Also, it'd be risky for Nikki to do that if it's just some random guy at a bar, because what if he fucking hits you or something? That's what I'd be
Well,
afraid of.
it's not socially acceptable to hit a woman, so chances are he's going to follow the rules.
Well-
Or could scream at her face,
well,
right?
I wouldn't.
What
I
would,
guess,
what would screaming do?
I
He
wouldn't
gets kicked out
call
of
a
the
girl.
bar.
I
The
wouldn't
only-
call a girl ugly at a
See,
bar.
you're
She'd
playing
go
into
crazy.
see, you're playing into it, man. You're
No, I'm
getting-
not. There's difference between the truth and what we're talking about in the black pill and socially and social navigating through a social world. If I went on the street and said everyone you're ugly that I walk by, that'd be
Well,
fucking
but
retarded.
that's not
and I'd get in fights.
that's not elicited though. They're not asking. I'm saying the guy's asking Nikki, I want to go out with you sometime, and she's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think
He's
she
like,
need-
well, what do I have to change? What do I have to do? You need to grow a second leg, and you need to fix that face of yours.
but he can't do that.
Yeah, but he
Exactly.
can't do that. But
So there's no
you're
hope
right
for
about
you.
that,
There's
yeah.
no hope for you with me, with you. That's the you. This one girl said, "Look at you and look at me,"
I
and
think
you're
that-
universalizing it to be like, "Oh, that's all women," but it's not. It's just that
not.
one woman.
Yeah, because that woman is probably 23 and wants to hook up with really hot people. But like, I don't.
Which you are not.
You're like, you're not a model, but
Mm-hmm.
like, you're attractive, and I think that she was.
No,
reacting
I know
like
what
a
happened. I don't need to
bitch.
explain. Yeah, sure.
Listen, we need to
get
get
it.
through this, Jeremy.
But,
I can't have you go. I just think that's
But
like.
she said herself, I don't know if you would say to a random guy at a bar, you're unattractive. Would you?
I'm not saying just out of nowhere. He's asking her
If-
why
I
don't
know,
have a
I know.
shot. Okay.
I know.
If he came on really strong and I got annoyed, yeah, I'd be like, no.
I'm not into you.
I have done it with men that are like older than me, and I'm like, no, you could be my father, or like, what? Why do you think that I would fucking go for that? Because you're old and I'm younger, and I'm not into that. But I've never done it to anybody who's like, but if you're really fucking okay. But mine comes from other weird shit though, because mine comes from a place of like never being hit on to now if like a guy hits on me and he's aggressive about it, I'm like, I know how you would have treated me if I still looked the way I did. So fuck you for even like trying and thinking that I would be down with this, because you would be such a fucking bully, you chauvinistic motherfucker. Like,
Sure.
I'm angry.
I like that.
Yeah, that's where my beef doesn't lie in a guy being like, oh, you're attractive. My beef lies in being like, you wouldn't be into me, and now I'm like attractive, so now you're gonna hit on me, but I know how you treat other people, and I'll fucking like, that's where it makes me so angry.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how would you feel about these hot guys you fucked if, like, all of a sudden they became fat, like, you know, flubby losers?
I hope they do.
Yeah. Why? Why do you hope
I
that
hate
happens?
hot people. I think that
You want to
they're
fuck them, but you hate them?
Yeah, I'll fuck you, but I hope you get fat and ugly, and you know what it's like. You
Totally.
assholes.
Maybe they do know it's like, maybe they got hot because they realized, like, I can't keep doing doing this. I gotta David Goggins my ass, and I gotta get myself into shape and really do something myself. Like, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Some people start, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I get annoyed by, I mean, that's kind of like the only thing that goes on in my head with women I've like tried to date in the past. I'm like, if she ever comes back, if I make it a comedy, if I start making money and having like a lifestyle, and I start taking care of myself, and she comes back, I am telling her to go fuck herself. But that's more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
That's more of a like, I just don't, you're hurt and you want to get them back for not seeing your potential. But I'm just talking about a guy, like, just being honest with the people who you don't have that like that traumatic past with, where you can be like, look, like, hey, just, you know, just like I can tell Jeremy, like, dude, you have a lot of opportunities for you right now. Like, you are a guy who's, because you're tall, you got clear. It's true though. You know it's true.
No, I do know.
There's no way you're reading all this literature and not realizing.
No, I understand being tall is that,
it is.
But that's what the incels say. Being tall is a huge advantage in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially as a man.
As a woman, oh, it sucks.
No, actually, a woman, I think it's still pretty okay.
No, if you're if you're like 6'2" as a woman, you're free.
I'm totally into that.
Shouldn't leave the house.
Yeah, but what if she's like has an amazing, beautifully perfect face, and she's skinny and has like nice tits?
I think she'd still have problems. Just cut her knees, and then she'd be fine.
Wait, so
I think tall women.
Why do you
6'2"?
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. I'm also I'm most
fine, really,
I'm most attracted to tall women, but I also won't date them because it makes no sense. So it's like I can't. I'm saying I love something that I also cannot do anything for. So it's kind of a moot point. Is my point. Like, I think they're very attractive, but like, what am I? What they don't need me on their team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you never know. I think as people get older,
I'm done getting on a stool to kiss my girl.
But my thing is like, I think as you get older, you like all this kind of ego and like self worth in terms of like who you're fucking and this and that dissolves, and then you start to like see people for who people are.
And I think that's because you have fucked. That helps.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what we were saying before about how
exactly what's going.
How you still have the bitterness, and I do too, a little with like your youth and growing up and how people treated you based on your looks. Like, so this is the whole thing with the incels. So imagine it's that, but now they're fucking 30 and they've just dealt, and there's no hope. There's no future. There's no Accutane. There's no puberty. It's over for them. So they would have that rage and bitterness tenfold, and that's sort of what the whole forums are. So, and that's sort of why me and Erickson think that it's so stupid for them to ban them and call them terrorists, when really it is just a group of ugly people getting together and commiserating.
Well, okay,
like in a support group.
I guess I think about before this existed. So my stepdad, his brother, Ted, he's...
I won't use his name, but okay. Ted, if you're listening.
I don't think Ted's listening.
Okay, go on.
I feel very bad if he is.
Yeah, because we just said his name.
Well, anyways.
Go on.
Well, that'd be weird. Anyways, Ted definitely has never had sex. Never.
How old is it?
Ted, he's like 70.
Wow.
And he's never had sex.
He's not a priest or anything like that.
No, guys. Ted. Okay, Ted.
True cell.
True cell. Is that what?
True incel.
Yeah, he is, and he, he's very socially awkward, and he would come over, and for like Thanksgiving, he would come with he lived with his parents. His parents are dead now, so he lives off of like the house. The house that he lived in had so many books that it was tilting, and it was a hazard. From the books. So many books.
That's awesome.
And he would come to dinners, and I was a teen I was like 12, teenish. And so he would come over for dinners, and he would bring a stack of books, and then he would tell me about all the books. And my mom and his parents, like my stepdad's parents, were there, and I'd have to sit there and listen to these fucking books. And then in the middle of dinner, he would go and he'd use the washroom, and he would just shit the toilet, and you would just hear him farting the whole time as you're having this nice dinner, like very socially inept. Yeah. And then there's more.
He had Asperger's.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if you have enough books that your house the foundation crumbles,
and all you do is talk about them.
Yeah, like it got one time he called my house and said, can I talk to Nicole? I've read this new book. And I like picked up at the same time. I was like, no. My mom's like, Nicole, Ted's on the phone. And I had to listen to him tell me about a book for an hour. And
chapter 2.
It was just, yeah, he farted. Every time he came for dinner, he fart. And then he would sit at the table and burp and like pick his nose. And he's never had
Asperger's.
But he's never had sex.
Mental cell.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have Asperger's.
But he like then, joined a community, a book club, a this, a that. And he complains a lot, but he seems okay.
MGTOW motherfucker.
Yeah, so that's what incels is basically a book club.
So I think
like
that being
and,
physically with people would feel better than being behind a screen alone. Like he still survived.
For some people, yes. And we can all assume like what's healthy for the average person. But there are some people that, look, it's not our decision what they have to break through. And for some people, being around people, it causes so much anxiety and discomfort that they just are like driven towards like the comfort of a screen. And I'm not for that, but I believe in the American dream, which is that you get the right to do what you want with your body if it's not hurting anybody. If you want to be a person who lives the rest of your incel life just for like the next 25 to 20 years, like in front of a screen, just talking to people, I'm fine with that because it's not harming anybody. Yeah. It's gross. I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it, but that's your choice and it's harmless. But also, if you want to get those people to stop doing that, maybe villainizing them and to believe that everyone thinks they're fucking terrorists and that they're probably that they just want to rape people 24/7 is not the best way to get them to start going outside.
Yeah, I think that. I don't think they're going to rape people. I wasn't afraid of the rape part.
Well, that's part of the conversation. The conversation, like I've talked with people, the one thing I always hear is that they always say, like, well, incels believe they're entitled to a woman's body even if she doesn't want them to do it.
No, I don't think that. I think that I don't think that. I think that being sexually frustrated can lead to anger, and if you do have people, I think being online and like it can go down a rabbit hole of. You know what? That is okay to think that way. And there's no one monitoring this.
But they're not. Like they're self-monitored.
There's going to be some people that are going to get triggered and they're going to make jokes about killing people, or they're going to like start to say, "Oh, this guy did this or this girl did that," and they're going to get angry, and then they're going to feed into like the anger, and you don't know who you're dealing with, and you could really trigger someone by encouraging them to kill people.
So maybe we should have them have a registered incel index.
I think that I wish that they were like there was a meeting like in person, so they can learn how to interact, because I think that if they learn how to interact with other people,
that's what Christina said too. See, I think a lot of them have gone through interactions.
It's also just not this. It's also just not the solution, because it's like you can learn how to interact with people in a way that you're still a member of society, but you're still not getting laid, and you're still just watching as other people have happy lives around you, and that's kind of what kills them.
A lot of their venting is they go outside and they're seeing couples and they see a life that they could never have, and it makes them even more lonely.
Right, like a great person, a very admirable person is somebody who realizes like, okay, I don't have a penis, so I can't have sex, so I'm just going to devote my life to the church or doing good things for people. Like, that's a good person. There's something to be admired about that, but it's also not unreasonable to be like, I don't have a penis and I have no idea why the fuck this happened to me, and yet everyone else gets to have a penis and enjoy having it. Like you can it's just some people are going to be angry. You're going to be upset, and it's not us. It's not right for us as a society to be like, turn that frown upside down, man. It's okay. We're having a good time. It's like, yeah, of course, you've got your dick still on you.
Well, here's the thing. When you're saying that, like the immediate thing that comes to my head is like when you're saying how they see couples and in love, like my whole thing is I'm like, that shit's not real. It doesn't last.
You know that because you've experienced it.
Yeah, they never experienced it.
Right.
It's so easy to say you don't even want this.
No, I know, but I just wish that more people would tell them the truth and be like,
you can tell them the truth. You know the truth. You know the truth.
It's their hormones.
Nikki, you know the truth. If I gave you the opportunity to go back to your 20s right now, or let's say you started at 17, whenever you lost your virginity, you go back to the day before you lost your virginity. I'm like, you now have a choice to go back to that day and just live a life of celibacy and focus on your fucking comedy. Would you take that opportunity, or would you still want to just have sex?
I'd still want to have sex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know
I would
that
take
it's
the
still
opportunity because it was the post-op trend, so I would choose not to. If that's on the table, if that spell is still here.
You know what I'm saying though? Like you're right. Relationships are not as cool as we think they're going to be, but there's still something we want. And to act that way to other people who don't have that option, like you don't know what you're asking for. Be careful what you wish for.
I'm
it's
not
so
trying
disingenuous.
to downplay, and I get that because what it will happen too is like if a hot girl walks in here, I'll be like, that fucking hot girl. Exactly. Like when I saw you the other day, I was like, it's just another fucking skinny bitch walked down the stairs. Remember when we were at Bert? You probably missed it. And I was like, there's another fucking hot girl, blonde and her little.
I love that.
And every time I do, when I say
that's
that,
awesome. I don't know why. Maybe that's why I love incels. I just love that anger because I get it. I get that. I get that jealousy.
But then people will be like, Nikki, you're hot. And I'll be like, fuck you. Like, you could tell me till the fucking cows come home what you're saying. Like, I can tell these people relationships aren't that great, but it doesn't change anything. It's true. It doesn't change anything.
It's an ache.
It's annoying. I'm like, I don't need you. I'm just going to feel how I'm going to feel.
Right. Yes. Exactly. And either can appreciate that and just acknowledge that and be like, hey, you know what? I'm glad you feel free to share that. Or we can villainize and be like, Nikki, you shouldn't feel that way. You're not allowed to. Are you going to go kill people right now? What's wrong with you? Are you
But I do think that the anger that I feel is now in my comedy, and I can make jokes about stuff. And I guess I'm like, I just
you have found a healthy way to do it, and I wish they would find a healthy way.
Yes, that's my point.
And I think the only way to that path is to not start banning them and turning them into terrorists. Like I think when you marginalize someone that much, marginalizing someone further is not a way to promote them finding a positive way. It's the conversation's not like how can we help these incel guys like get over their problems and maybe find like something useful to do in life. It's always like how do we shut them down, possibly get them to kill themselves so we don't have to deal with them ever again in our life?
Who's saying that they want them to kill
No one wants
themselves?
My point is people always wish
it's kind of like
people wish they here's my point. The conversation is not how we the conversation is not how do we integrate these guys into society. The conversation is how do we get rid of them, and that's not helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you think the solution is? Knowing what you know about incels, if you kind of come up with a solution, what would a solution you come up with for incels?
I feel like I'm going to say you guys are going to be like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
No, that's...
Oh, sorry, I spoke to you.
I honestly think that the solution is to make them feel normal. And the way that you're going to make them feel normal is by encouraging them to come out and hang out with people. And honestly, I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but like, if I could, like a big brother, big sister, if I could hang with an incel,
what is up with these girls who want to hang out with incels and just torture them? You just want to torture them.
No, I don't want to torture you.
No, because he's not going to get to fuck you, right?
No, I'm not talking about fucking. I'm talking about hanging out and like just being. I would put a fucking mustache on, but I'm just like, these people feel, not only are they not fucking people, but they're alone. They're not hanging out with friends. They're not like.
I mean, not all of them.
Not all of them. The solution is to make them feel more normal. And my solution to people feeling normal,
I think it's a normal thing to feel ugly and feel unattractive. And
that's fine. But my point is to make the feeling of feeling ugly is okay too. Like
if you were hanging out, like if you've never had sex, Nikki, and you're hanging out with a dude who's like gorgeous, and you know he's just hanging out with you as a way to hopefully make sure that you don't go on a killing spree. Like
there was a guy in high school that hung out with me and I was his friend, and I had this like weird memory the other day of it, and he was so hot, and he was just using me to get to my hot friends. And so he was my friend, and we talked on the phone every day. He was so fucking hot. And then one day he got wasted, and he kissed me on the street corner, and I was like, oh my God, I got Justin Hughes. I'll fucking kill you. And he
just
kissed
fucking
me.
Naming dudes.
Yeah, I'm naming That's all cool. You motherfuckers. And he kissed me.
The trans was named Angie. Go ahead.
And then the next day we were supposed to like go Christmas shopping for like, cause we were friends, you know, and he called me and he was like, I can't go Christmas shopping anymore. And he was like, I was wasted. I took it too far. I'm not into you. Yeah. But also I wasn't into you. Da, da, da. So like that, I get that feeling, and that's like a traumatic situation. And I guess what I'm saying is like, I think hot people are the problem.
I like this one too.
I think hot people are the problem.
Yes, I agree.
They're up their own ass. And
yes, they have too much power.
Yeah. they have too much power, too much opportunity, and they're not real. And I wish that they're
in the real world.
They don't. Yeah.
Right. They're delusional.
They're delusional.
And they lie to all us normies.
Exactly.
And there's a way of controlling us and giving them whatever they want.
And that's why I'm like, if you are hot and you are ugly, I think the best way is like to just like, people could for sure look at me and be like, oh, you're attractive now. People think you're attractive, this and that. So you don't know what it's like. But I'm just like trying to preach so much that I was there, and hot people fucking suck so much, and they make you insecure. And if you can just like stick to what you appreciate, whether it's like a video game or whatever, like this guy liked books, Ted liked books. And I'm like, I don't know.
Ted's got Asperger's.
Yeah,
we don't even know for a fact that Ted wanted to have sex.
All right, it's
Ted
true.
Shit all over the floor.
I just
every
think
Thanksgiving. He's not a great example
you just think
of
that
mental health.
if you found out today that you were a Ted, you'd kill yourself because the idea of living a Ted's life is horrific to you.
No, because I wouldn't kill myself. No,
I would.
You would?
I'd put a bunch of books on, go in the house. But the thing, I don't know if it's such a hard question. Is there a solution? Because there's not. Because
that's why we're asking it. Because what I think we have to start talking about is, instead of being like how, because I think everyone's solution right now is like these people should not exist.
No,
even the nice solutions are tough. Because like I thought a solution would be kind of what Nikki is saying, is like to sort of be nicer to the incel, like smile at them on the street, but then they just annoy you, huh?
I think the solution is letting them have a place to converse, and just having moderators.
It's not a solution.
But
you're against
Band-Aid.
You're
it's
against
the best
the
we got right now.
It's
like
way better than like.
The thing is, it's not like AA.
Some people are not going to get laid in life. Some people are just not going to get laid in life.
Of course,
and they're not going to be able to be humble about it. They're not going to be able to have like integrity and be like, well, I know I'm not going to get laid, but I will still do some good in this world.
Okay, but here's what the problem is. When I was trying to like with hot people and this and that, the society has made it so that if you are having sex, like in order to be a real human, you have to have sex.
Yeah,
that's what they make you think. And I think that the solution is like, it's okay if you actually live your life without having sex. Sure, you want to have sex.
For a man, it's not.
Well, for some people, it's not. Like I said, for Teddy, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's not that.
He's got his books. No, but he's.
I'm sick of Teddy. Teddy's not an example of anything.
No, he is. He's an example of a person who's almost voluntary celibate because he doesn't really care about
know what sex is.
Exactly. He doesn't understand the concept.
He read about it once and fucking.
No, he read about it in a bunch of books.
All the books are like Clifford, by the way.
But I guess this is a stupid thing because you guys would have talked about this, but can't they go like hire someone to have sex with them?
Some of them do, and they are for that. But also, prostitution is illegal right now in most states, so it's not exactly.
And a lot of them do it, and it doesn't fulfill them because when we do talk about getting laid, we're also
to be honest, that's being a bit selfish.
We're talking about having a partner, really.
Well, then they could be angry. They could be angry about that too.
Can I have one too?
Yeah, I do want one.
I just think that we need to make it a bit more normal, and I think that we need to be more honest as humans as to the lives that we're living and what we're going through. And I think that people are too fake, and hot people are so annoying because they're fake. And I would love to know, like,
I do like that vilifying the hot people.
Me too.
That's an interesting.
Yeah, fuck
take.
you.
I haven't really heard that. I mean, they do it on the forum, on the message boards, but regular people don't really vilify them as much as they deserve.
It's true. I think that it's the regular people that should be famous and be like, that's like. Right. My biggest goal is I hope that one day I have a big enough name, but not that I'm like in the spotlight to be like, look at me, I'm famous. I want to be like that person where I'm like, no, it fucking sucks. And I've been there. Like I was a camp counselor and my job was to make all these teenagers, like this one teenager was such a loser. And this other girl was getting fingered all the time on canoe trip. And they were like,
you were a counselor during this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And everyone was like, Kiki gets all the guys. And I was like, no, guys, she peaked too young. She's not going to turn out okay. And I got to like coach them through it when they were going through such a hard time. And it felt so good.
Okay, we need to make an incel camp for all the young incels. And Nikki's got to be the camp counselor.
And I think we need to they need to tell them how it is.
See, this is going back towards what we were talking about last episode where I said this is the trajectory we're going on. We're going to just, if being an incel is like being a homosexual was for the last few years, we're going to start having camps we send our kids to stop them to get to scare the incel out of them.
I thought of a solution. You want to hear? It's not a good one.
Okay.
Women aren't allowed to make money or work anymore.
I mean, that would work. That would work. That would work.
That's the problem. The only because then they would be more like the fucking 60s where you're like more despondent. Is that the word? Dependent on the man.
You're probably more despondent.
There would be less. There would be less. There would be less incels then, and there was.
Do you think there really was?
Yes.
But you also have to factor in like there's more people than there ever has been on this world. And
yeah,
stuff like
we
that.
ate chemicals for so long, and we're on birth control. And
It's a great way of putting it. We ate chemicals.
There was less. There's some whatever. There's graphs to show that people are having sex less, even in the last 15 years.
The percentage of
population, men are having
the population
sex less.
percentage is less now. People having sex,
and not sex as mass sex as like I haven't had sex in the last year.
Yeah,
sexless.
Right,
like the virgins.
So that's why I think it's increasing.
You
and
think if women? What about the female?
Well, women. There are no female.
So
incels.
the women one has stayed the same. It's I think it's like 10% of women haven't had sex in the last year.
They don't really exist.
The men have gone
like there's guys
30.
who are pretty much gonna fuck you one way or another. There's guys who are interested in what you are.
Right. Okay.
There's a small, very, very, very small.
I agree. I think we as a society have to turn on the hot people again.
We have to turn on the hot people.
Yeah.
We have to treat
eat the hot.
You already are biologically like, competent. You're already ahead of the game in so many ways, nature wise. We need just accept it. We're going to assume you're stupid. We're going to make fun of the fact that you have it so good. Yeah. We're not going to take your problems seriously, and that's just the trade off for you being able to fuck whoever the fuck you want to fuck.
Yeah. There's something.
It'd be so easy too. Just get some super soakers with acid and just go
whoa.
What? I'm not gonna kill them. We're gonna maim them. We're gonna maim them.
That's your options. If you're hot, either you get treated like a dunce, or we can maim you and you can become a normie like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we solved it for this episode.
I want to solve it. Are we done with the episode? I want to talk about this forever. I want to find a solution. We can go another
10 more minutes. I just was trying to like make sure, I know you have an out.
What time is it?
It's 1:41.
Oh.
I want to go to a town hall and ask Elizabeth Warren how to solve
my God.
it.
Can you do that? That'll help the podcast get so much more coverage.
I swear to God, 10 years it's going to be a political issue.
I would almost argue 4 years.
You think that's soon?
Either this thing's going to grow to the point where it's going to become something that everybody in the country like talks about and knows about, or it's going to go disappear and become another one of those fads where it's like, remember when there was a group of uggos who we used to like make fun of?
But the only way it would go away is if Tinder was gone, and if
hypergamey became obsolete, yes, but that's not going to happen. Like there's only more and more power that's going to the attractive people because like look, dude, every time I drive to the Comedy Store on Hollywood, and I see all those billboards, just gorgeous women selling weed or Netflix or fucking like Amazon products. I'm just like, dude, like we more so than ever before are just selling sex. Like that's what is driving our economy.
Yes.
And we want it so bad that we're willing to like just create classes of people that we just dismiss, but we won't outright say it's because they're ugly. We gotta come up with these like faux narratives, like they're a bunch of like
angry white misogynist terrorists.
Yeah, they're angry terrorists who basically just want to like hurt people because they don't get what they want.
They even call them like alt-right.
They're Nazis for sure. Yeah, they're Nazis, alt-right. They do hate Jews. It's kind of funny to me though.
Just some of them.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, it
seems like no matter what. No, it seems like wherever you have. No, this seems like to be a natural fact of reality that wherever there's angry people in groups, there's going to be a lot of Jew hate. It just seems to grow wherever there's anger. Every time I've seen a group of people with anger, there's always a good few of them that's like, by the way, guys, it's the Jews' fault. It's like, well, okay, fine. I mean,
I've been to anger management. It's mostly
honestly, I'm just happy people are still talking about us. I just really, I enjoy it. I'm fine with it.
Wait, can I go back to the solution?
Yes.
Fuck, I forgot it already.
You had one?
Yeah, I was thinking.
All right, this will be called the final solution. Okay.
Oh my God, no. Well, who was your last guest? Christina
Yeats.
And she said that you should hang out with them. She said you should hang out.
She wanted to put together a Sadie Hawkins dance. She wanted to put together a formal.
She said the women would volunteer.
A bunch of volunteer women that will not have sex with them, but will give them attention for the night, just so they can know what it feels like. Because that's what you girls think it is. You guys think they just have one night with me, they will be happy for the rest of their lives.
No, because
We're
honestly,
angels.
I guess I'm basing this off of being a counselor, and now I just realized it when I said that other story was I was the kid in the cabin that was paired up with the ugly guy in the other cabin when we played Truth or Dare. I was the one that
you are my favorite story of any woman I've ever met. I want to watch the TV show about your life.
So like
Ugly Nikki, and it was like the grossest guy, and he had to do push-ups over top of me and kiss me as the dare. And as he was doing that, everyone laughed. Oh my God, I feel so much for you.
Yeah, I'll kill everybody.
I just love it because it's just like, it's just like there's nothing meaner you can do to a girl than making her like the incel.
But that was my equivalent.
But how did that guy feel?
That felt. Oh, that guy?
The guy.
That guy's in jail now. That guy for sure has been like picked up for pedophilia.
He was dared.
Yeah, that was the excuse. That's what the excuse was that time. But the template was set.
Well, then that guy thought, like, the losers always thought that I was in their league. That's the most upsetting thing as an ugly person.
I totally related to this. See, that's why I understood in the beginning when you didn't want to go on the incel forum, because I was the same way too. I was like, I knew I was kind of like, a part of me was like, clearly nobody wants to fuck me.
Yeah, that's
so there's something off about me. But I'm not going to hang out with the ugly weirdos because then I'm one of them.
Yes. But that's what makes
This is
it.
why women want incels dead.
Yeah.
No, I don't want them dead.
You're not a woman.
What?
They want them dead because they make them feel less worthy when a creepy ugly guy talks to me. That's like the girl I talked to was like, look at me. I insulted her.
No, she loved that. She loved the fact that you came up to her and gave her the opportunity to be open and honest about how she felt about herself without any possible recourse. She loved it.
You didn't insult her.
You
were projecting.
You didn't.
No, you didn't.
You gave her an opportunity to be mean, which she loves to do. Women love being mean.
I never feel insulted. When I was ugly, I was insulted.
But say really ugly guys, like ogres, like 5 in a row hit on you the last 5 times you're at a gas station. The 5th time you're going to be like, fuck you guys. You're making me feel like shit.
No, I really wouldn't.
Really?
I really wouldn't.
No,
No, not at all. I get that they're going to try.
It's annoying.
But no,
I agree,
I'm talking
it's annoying.
about really below average guys.
I wouldn't know.
Why wouldn't they, Jeremy? Why wouldn't they be going after girls that are gorgeous?
No. I'm talking about Nikki.
No,
he said gorgeous, Jeremy.
No, I didn't mean that.
Listen, Jeremy.
That's not what I meant.
I've been very complimentary to you this whole fucking podcast.
That's not what I meant.
I'm helping you get out your cystic PTSD. You're telling me that I'm not fucking gorgeous. Okay.
You know that's not what I meant. I'm talking about how
That's what I thought you meant too. I really thought.
I swear to God, that's not what I meant.
Am I gorgeous?
Edit this. You're gorgeous.
Edit this. This is gonna be the promo.
No,
this is 100% the promo for this episode.
I'm not talking about the guys. I'm talking about how Nikki feels about the guys.
I really do. I'm being totally honest. I wouldn't be offended. I would just be like, you're a man, I'm a woman, and
right. That's how you should.
I swear to God.
I don't think most women feel that way.
But I think most women might be obnoxious. But if you are the type of person, in all honesty, who is responding to someone of lesser attractiveness, trying to hit on you as a statement about yourself, you are a narcissistic piece of shit.
Yeah, I agree.
That is insane. Like we might actually be the outliers here because we were both ugly kids who were trying to fuck hot dudes. But like, if you're the kind of person that thinks that every person who hits on you is a declaration of how attractive you are, that's insane.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if there was an influx of very unattractive people hitting on you, that's what I said.
I think that's what it is for attractive people, dude. I guess that's my point.
It is what it is.
It's varied, but I'm saying if it's like only.
No.
You're saying if like for a year, only unattractive guys are approaching you, you're going to get like really upset about the fact that you're only
what happened to me.
Right, but no, that's not happening. No, here's the thing. That is a way different experience than one guy a night that you're drunk coming up to you and hitting on you and being like, "Hey, what's going on?" You'd be like,
but I'm saying,
dude.
what if I was the 10th guy?
Why do you assume that you're the 10th guy, dude? She's gorgeous.
I'm gorgeous.
Well,
I know. We're talking about the woman. I know, guys. I'm just trying to make myself feel better. So anytime you say gorgeous, I'm going to go, I'm gorgeous.
This will help. Whenever someone says gorgeous, it's not telling you. That'll help for the rest of your life. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so listen. I'm going to put oil on your face here, act back.
She pulls out a super soaker.
And you're going to get... Okay, this is what I have to say. If I was ugly and 10 guys, ogres in a row, came up to me, and yes, I'd be upset because like when I was a kid, I was ugly.
Yeah.
But because I'm like fine looking, I would just be like, oh, that's that. I wouldn't be like, what happened to me? But when I was a kid and it was always the ugly guys, like really, like that would send me like notes, and I was like, I am.
Oh, that sucks.
That like
I know.
I am
so
that
it did
league.
upset her when she was a kid.
It did,
Dude, no one's disagreeing with you actually that like if you are an ugly person who's constantly being approached by ugly people, or even if they're not, if you're only approached by ugly people, you're gonna start to have like a low self-esteem.
Right,
I get
but that
for you to assume that this hot girl.
Forget about that.
Wait, it's
You
not
were the
about him
100th
right
person,
now.
okay.
Wait, but that's
Never
such
is,
a good
never is
lesson to
it?
learn.
She's probably
That is
trans.
that if you
She's probably
are
a dick under there.
Oh.
That's why she was so mean.
okay, maybe
She's like, look at
'Cause
me
he was a
and
dude.
my dick, and look at you. I'm like,
you have a dick
I edited
too.
that part out.
This is a good thing to know for ugly people. Is that
This is a good thing to know about ugly people or for ugly people
for
to know?
ugly people to know?
Okay,
Men
listen.
or
in.
women? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter because that we just broke it down to the mind frame. If I was ugly and it happened with 10 people, I'd be offended. I'm not ugly, and if it happened with 10 people, I wouldn't. So if you are doubtful and you think that you're ugly, but you also like see some sort of beauty in yourself and you're like, oh no, I'm ugly because 10 guys have hit on me that are ugly. It's just guys hitting on women. Or do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it depends
I
where
get
you're at. So
this.
don't be offended by the kind of guy that hits on you or the kind of woman that hits on you, because we just are creatures doing what we do.
Well, don't get me wrong. I know what it feels like to be a guy who like it's always like the six and belows that think they have like a better shot with me, so they work harder to like get me to like on their side. They'll hit on me more, and that's despairing. But I don't let it destroy. It is. It's just like, okay, so this is what feels comfortable going after me. But it doesn't stop me from thinking of myself like I appreciate who I am, and I'm going to go after other girls, and I don't think that I'm ruining their day by because the girls that I don't necessarily want are the ones coming after me. Doesn't mean I don't go after girls that I want.
Okay, but
And I think that I'm ruining their day if they go like, "Excuse me, have you seen what I look? Of course I saw you look like. That's why I'm talking to you."
yeah, but going back to the solution, which is why I brought up the camp thing.
Right. Send them all to camps.
Send them to camp. But also,
Concentration camp.
I think that the part of the solution is to be like, yeah, it must be hard, and yeah, that does suck, and yeah, I feel for you, and yeah, you have a right to feel the way you do because you are different. But also, just because you're different, we're gonna figure out like how to make this okay. It's not okay right now because it's weird to be different, but it doesn't have to be weird to be different. You kind of maybe there needs to be a place where like people come to own the way that they look, and we
I totally
as a
agree,
society have to be okay with it.
Right, and I think that goes by it's not necessarily demonizing. You just accept that like, look, there's certain
That's what they look
realities
like.
of like the
Yeah.
way that biology works and the way that we are as a society. If we're gonna keep on selling marijuana by using like half naked bootylicious babes to advertise it, then let's acknowledge that there's a certain type of person we're not into.
There needs
that
to be
doesn't
more
sell.
of these people on the billboards so that we get used to looking at these people. No, don't see.
I mean,
that's,
fine. If what the whole entire advertising campaign is normie, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I guess that's what you're trying to sell. But I think that's. I mean, you can try that route, which people are kind of trying to do. That whole like, well, now we're looking at fat girls as beautiful because we want to see all types of people. It's like, no, you're just trying to like lie to us and act like she's gorgeous.
That's embarrassing.
well, but here's the thing. I'm pretty squeamish with like dysformities and which sounds awful, but
I believe it. After everything we've talked about, I totally believe it.
like look at me, I'm so shallow. And well, I worked
all
at
are.
this kid's rehab place where it was all like babies with deformities, and like it was very hard at first.
that's tough.
And like when I see gross things, my vagina tingles for some reason, and it's not a good tingle. It's like my gut. And so I was walking around like just nauseous, and like this kid, like this one baby looked like SpongeBob SquarePants. Like his head was as big as SpongeBob's head, and then he just had like legs coming out of it, and it was so hard to look at. And when I started working there the first month, I couldn't. I was
Did you
just
try
like,
giving the baby a shower? That
What?
tends to help.
what?
Just fucking around.
I'm like can't. But then I got
Maybe
used
teach it. Maybe teach
after,
it a joke or two.
the
I don't
year, it's a baby. After a year, I finally got used to like looking at all these children that had
Freaks, yeah.
and I got used to it. And so I think that if we could...
Right, but would you ever tell those babies that they're pretty? Would you ever be like, oh, you're a gorgeous little baby? Like, no.
No, but
right.
my point is, it's okay if you're not gorgeous. The goal in life doesn't have to be gorgeous.
But
if your goal is to want to fuck someone and be attracted to them, then it might help to be pretty.
It's okay they're not gorgeous and their life is going to be worse than if you were.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because you want to create a society where, like, if you're attractive, you're the lowest of the low.
What's that?
Because if they're attractive, their life isn't going to be worse now, not right now. What did you say?
I'm saying that because they're deformed or incel, their life, I feel like, on a bar,
it's going to be worse.
It's going to be worse.
Yes.
Because they have less opportunity.
And if we're more honest
no one
about
admits that.
if we're more honest about that,
yeah.
if we took away the pressure we feel ourselves, the guilt that we feel about that, and the part that we play in it, and just accepted it, I think we could end up giving those people a better life. Because
they'd probably be more comfortable to go outside.
Exactly.
Right, and we'd be more comfortable just being honest with them about what we do appreciate about them, even though there's things that we find repulsive.
Which is what, as a camp counselor, I had, like, my job was to make these kids that were losers.
Man, I'm so glad I quit my camp counseling job 2 days in, because I would have not been good.
But that was what my job was. It was like, I was cool, the kids thought I was cool, and then you got the little sluts, and then you got the losers, and you have to make the losers feel normal, and then you do. And I think that there's just needs to be like a couple more people like that are relatable, that the incels can turn to, and not for sex, but just to be like, just be.
I guess that's the thing. My, and that's what the thing about you and Christina, it seems, is like, you guys are trying to get the incels to change. And I guess I do want them to change a little bit, obviously. You know, they could be a little bit more happier. They can have a more positive attitudes. But I think it's more society that needs to change in its relationship to incels. Like, it's not so much like everyone's trying to get, like, maybe if they just could talk to someone, they'd learn to be more positive people. It's like, no, I think they just need to feel, I think we
need to feel normal.
And I think that comes with society, is being like, yeah, dude, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone should have an incel friend.
Yeah.
I think everyone should have an incel friend.
We're saying that they would feel more normal if we were a little more honest with their situation.
Yeah.
Right, and we weren't bullshitting them and fucking gaslighting them about it. Be like, no, dude, you just gotta find a girl who also likes anime and who also wants to play Magic Gathering with you, dude.
For sure, be like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or just, or the fucking Super Soaker thing. That's
you like my pop people have to go.
That's an interesting one.
I definitely agree that I'm totally down. I don't know about facially disfiguring people. I'm kind of against that, but like, I totally think if we could find a way to make the hot people the outcast, I'm all for it. Because I still believe that hot people, we like to believe that, like, it's like a group of normal people, and then it's like the ugly people, but it's more like there's ugly people, then there's hot people, and the normal people are just us average Joes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we kind of pick a side. You know what I mean? Like, your problems are not the same as a hot person. They will let you believe that it is because they want you to think that you're on the same level as them.
Or when a hot person goes, "Oh my God, you're so pretty," fucking kill yourself.
Maybe that Love Island show, we should just collect them all and just.
But I do like when I see a hot guy.
Drown the boats or whatever. Just leave them on.
Yeah.
They can just all be on the reality show.
They'll just pop up again through birth.
But I like when I see a hot guy with an ugly girl. It's my favorite. It's so nice.
Well, that's what they want. That's what they want. They want to see.
Well, that's the disturbing future too, because we're every. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to get too deep into it.
Say it.
Well, that's the thing with the incels being on the rise, is it's going, and women being hypergamous. You know that term?
No.
It's like women go after men that are their level, but usually their level at least, but up in terms of status, money, looks.
Okay.
So they're always trying to get higher.
Okay.
Aim higher. Where men are more even and might even date lower. Really, very rarely will we're recording.
No, keep going.
So it's like, that I feel like is going to become more the norm. You see a really hot guy with a woman that's a lot less attractive than him.
It's great.
Well,
you are seeing that a lot. You're seeing.
Is it great? I don't
that's
know.
a joke amongst incels, is that like the modern day looks match. So they'll say looks max 2019, and you'll see this like guy who's like kind of like a 6 or maybe like a 4 out of 10, but he's with like a girl who's like a 1. Like she's just like way like more ugly than
but
he is.
I think that
or even
women-
guys who are like models who will be with this girl who's like just clearly like slumming it, and you're just like, that's what they want. They just think that they all deserve a guy who's like a fucking Prince Charming. But if you're like a 5'3" overbite loser, like you're an asshole for expecting to be dating Megan Fox.
Well, I think it also is an age. I know we can't keep going on, but I think it's also an age thing. I think that like as women get older and they're divorced,
Right,
and
when they're done with the cock carousel, they decide to settle down with somebody a little bit more easy to
you
manipulate.
can go younger, and you're gonna go like more personality.
No, you're going more money and stability. No, you're going for no. Unless you've got money, then you go for personality.
You've already created a life.
You go for some little jester you can have dance for you every weekend.
There's so much insecurity in women as they get older that if there's a guy that's gonna like shower her with compliments and make her feel confident.
Oh, you mean a beta?
Yeah, just a little slave to like.
Exactly.
Can I ask you one more question before we go? Because we got to go.
Yeah.
Do you think having sex with all these male models and like hot guys in your youth, do you think that has changed what your expectations are now, or what sex is, what relationships are? Do you think it has maybe warped you or anything in the negative? Does that make sense?
About hot people or about
just about you and your dating life or relationship life. What you go after, like having sex with like the super hot guys, that like changed you, like in your expectations of what you want from people, from men.
I think that I don't know. I don't think that it changed me. I mean, yeah, it changed me to an extent where like now they were like boring or players, and now I'm like very cynical, very, very cynical of men now that I've like seen that side in the personality. I also am very much, if like a younger hot guy hits on me, or which only happens like if I've been on stage, and then they're like, oh, I'm always like, been there, done that. I know what the fuck you are. So I don't know if it's warped me too much, but I think that now I've gotten it out of my system and I'm just more attracted to like personality. But with that being said, if I see a hot person, I'm like, you're so hot.
There's something inside you that just like.
But I still don't think that I will get them. But if I do think I,
but you want them,
right? It's not matter whether you can get them. It's a matter whether or not you want them.
I don't want them.
You sure?
I have to think about it.
No. Look at her trying to convince herself.
No. Because I'm thinking of two different kinds of men that I've been attracted to.
Right, hot men and.
No, like if it's like a hot surfer guy.
See, there you go.
I still want him.
There you go.
But if it's like.
Our voice changed.
Oh my God.
But if it's like a classically good-looking guy with like a good mouth and jawline that's like everybody thinks is so hot, I don't want him.
But that's not your version of hot.
That was my version of hot though.
That
Model
was
hot.
your version.
Yeah,
of
it was.
hot.
Now
and you still give him a chance.
No, I
Ham came in here.
I don't like his smile. I would feel good if he hit on me, yes, but I wouldn't go home with him. That's a lie. What?
That's what's wrong with you. There you go. See, I appreciate
That's
your
a lie.
awareness of like, what the fuck am I saying? This
that
is
was a
not at all
fucking
true.
lie.
Yeah,
It's hard. To
Yeah,
talk
you're right.
about.
That is hard. But I guess because mine were more pretty guys, okay, not John Hamm. Let's talk.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas and his
Why?
prime.
Oh my God, I'd fuck him as a child.
That's what I'm getting at.
there we go.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was so hot. He had that raspy voice.
But in his prime, he was 12.
She's going to jail, but she's gonna love
Macaulay
every second of it.
Culkin, so cute.
Wait, in Home Alone?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
He peaked at Home
I guess
Alone.
this is a hard.
Some people peak
thing.
at 8.
Yeah.
It's
See,
not-
that's what I told my kids.
It's not hard when you can just admit that you're a shallow human being who's attracted to people based on looks
because
initially. It's totally easy.
It also depends if the guy is model hot and he knows he's model hot. No, like if he's cocky, no. That's
I will
how
give you
feel.
so much leeway if you're attractive. I can admit that.
Yeah.
I do get there's certain hoops I won't jump through because I'm just like I respect myself
Do you
and
know
I'm not
how
gonna play
I
your
feel
fucking
though now?
game.
Now I'm like, if you're attractive and you think you're gonna hit on me, I'm like, I just want to fuck with your head. Like I have no interest now in like like,
if you're attractive, you're gonna hit them. You better take it all. Like you better be grabbing my dick and really giving me a show, because like obviously like I just don't want to get bitched. That's all. I don't want to get.
What's that mean, get bitched?
Like I don't want a girl who's, because she's so attractive, she can see what she can get me to do. You know what I mean? She can see how much she can get me to pay for the drinks, and I will go on a third date without having sex or doing anything. Like she's just gonna like keep on being like, oh, I got this little cute guy. He's kind of funny, but I'm gonna see what I want to do with him. It's like, you're gorgeous and like you're not bringing anything else to the table. It's like, well, you better be like doing everything you can to turn me on, and like making me feel like I'm some sort of like unaware Chad motherfucker who just doesn't realize that apparently he's really 6'4", and has like, you know, gigantic like arms.
What's the shortest guy you've dated or had sex with? Or dated?
Oof.
What's the shortest guy you fucked? You're not that tall to begin with either. You're like,
he was probably 5'7".
Yeah, how tall are you?
5'4".
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter with her.
6', 5'7". Ask me the fattest guy.
Who the fattest?
158.
He had back rolls, and that's when I was like, ugh. Then I was like, what have I been doing? I like blue eyes, and so I was like hypnotized by his eyes. And then one day I woke up and I was like, ew.
Yeah.
But that's my own shallowness. Yeah.
That's everyone's.
He also had a small, everything. Yeah, it's
he had a
true.
small dick. We want to give his name out too?
Yari. He also was like,
she almost did it. You almost just went with the bit and decided who gives a fuck.
He also like wasn't.
That's my kind of
He was
girl.
Controlling, and I like. I don't know. I'm really into the question you asked me, and I'm gonna go home and analyze.
Which one is that?
Now.
One.
About the having fucked the hot guys.
If it's warped to your perspectives.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has. I'm sure it would have for anyone, men and women.
But that's the point.
First girl I had sex with was like the hottest girl in the world. It would fuck with me forever in every other sexual relationship.
Oh,
I do wonder if like the first girl I fucked was definitely someone a little bit under like, you know, the hot spectrum, and I'm like, is that why I like her? No, it's not actually.
Wait, so you mean has it warped like other guys I fucked after them being like, you're not as hot as that guy?
Well, the first guy you had sex with,
yes.
Was he hot?
No. The answer is no, because no.
What did you think I meant?
I thought you meant like, has it warped my like opinion of if I'm attracted to like a hot guy later on, and if
that too.
I think it has. So then we already talked about that.
Yeah,
once you finally fuck someone who's hot, you're like, well, do I really give a shit?
No. You
don't give a shit. Or you do.
No, because I fucked the hottest guys I fucked better guys after that weren't hot. It's like,
what does better mean?
Better physical chemistry, like something like the feeling of like if they
right, but it wasn't that. My point is, you weren't like, after you finally fucked a hot guy, right? You weren't like, oh my god, this is all I'll ever fuck now.
No,
right, because you had it. So you're like, when you see a hot guy, you're like, that's awesome, I want that. But it wasn't like,
no, I was like, oh, that's a hot guy I fucked. I'm like, all right, what else can I? Where are we going now? Where are we going to do now? Oh yeah, oh you. But then no, there's never been a time that then after that I was like, oh, you're not as hot as that other guy that I fucked, because like some of the hot guys like aren't that good at fucks because they don't have to like.
Dude, that's the problem with hot people in general, and that's what I hate about it. I was just talking about that this morning with a friend about how like there's something about like with ugly people, they put more effort into it because they got to do something to get you excited, and like hot people, they just think the fact that they're there is enough. But that's all.
Sit there.
That's a story for another time. Here's the one last question I need to ask Nikki though.
Okay, she's gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. Here's one last question. Yeah. Because we do this in a way to create incel sympathizers. Would you consider yourself an incel sympathizer?
Yes.
Would you tell that to people in public?
Yes. Now that I know what they are.
Cool. Okay,
but listen, I'm still scared.
2 for 2 now.
I'm still scared you're gonna shoot people.
We're not gonna shoot people.
Are you still scared they will shoot people?
Some
Well, they will.
Yes. Some of them, yes.
Somebody will.
All somebody's are probably incels.
I mean, I've seen a gun. I've seen a gun. I've been in a bank robbery. So my mind is like,
was he hot?
Shit happens. He had a balaclava on.
A what?
Balaclava.
What's that?
Like the thing that they put over your, like the ski masks.
Oh, he's real ugly.
Or he's real hot. He's even hotter. So my point is, I'm paranoid and I believe it.
Oh, you must be fucking hideous under that thing.
So that's why I'm paranoid. Just so if there's incels listening, it's not because I'm general. It's because I've been through some shit.
You're also paranoid. You have fucking cancer when you have a hangnail. You're a hypochondriac.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like,
Yeah,
just so
so
you
it doesn't
know,
mean
don't
anything.
think.
Right, but you
yeah.
are sympathetic
I want
to
them,
that
if they're
lie.
listening, I want them to know it's not because I'm like judgy. It's because
So
I'm like
all you're trying to say is
person.
you're sympathetic to incels, but seriously, don't kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't
Fucking
kill
give
you.
it a
You're
shot.
fine.
Yeah, don't kill me. I'll help you.
I'll help you. Let's just talk. I'll just tell you what the way it is. I'll tell you what it's
Yeah.
like to be with a girl. Isn't that enough?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks,
All right.
Nikki, for doing this.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
And we'll be back again some other time with this show.
Bye bye.